All right, welcome back to the Deep Dive. And today, you've really given us a lot to dig into. We've got this great mix of training ground intel and this really detailed analysis of the goalkeeping situation.
It's basically a story with two different threads, isn't it? On one hand, you have the immediate stuff. How ready is the team for Everton on the 24th? What's Ruben Amorim been doing?
And on the other hand, you have this brooding transfer saga. It's like a strategic chess game between the two keepers, Sen Lammens and Alaibander.
Exactly. And this isn't just about who starts. It's about career ambitions, international deadlines, the whole picture.
Right. And our mission is to sort of connect all those dots for you. We've got some amazing details here, like who stayed behind to train and a keeper's heroic save percentage against Spain.
It sets up a fascinating conflict.
Okay, let's start with that match readiness. The Everton game is just around the corner. So the last international break of 2025 is over. Players were back at Carrington by Friday the 21st, so a really tight turnaround.
And what immediately jumps out from the sources is the atmosphere. The reports are calling it a new normal under Amorim. He seems to be in complete command.
It's not just a case of shaking off the jet lag then.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
It's fascinating how he's using this time. The sources are stressing this high energy, this positivity, and a real shift towards these aggressive, high-intensity drills.
And the focus on set pieces. That one really stood out to me.
Oh, absolutely. And for good reason. If you think about their season, they've been, a bit vulnerable on set plays, right? It's cost them points.
For sure.
So Amorim is clearly using this little bit of uninterrupted time to drill in some specific routines, things you just can't practice properly when you're going from match to match. He's tackling a core weakness head on.
And he's keeping things competitive. It says here 6 academy players were brought into the first team sessions.
Yeah, and that's a really clever move. It's not just to give the kids a chance. It acts as a competitive accelerant,
It keeps the senior players on their toes.
Exactly. It prevents any kind of post-international slump. It just keeps that intensity right up there.
Smart. But the real edge, like you said, seems to come from the group who didn't go away.
Yes, that group of 11 to 15 players, core names too. Kabi Manu, Luke Shaw, Mason Mount. Instead of just resting, they were doing these personalized conditioning sessions with Amorim himself.
What does personalized fitness actually mean in this context, though? It sounds good, but what's the tangible benefit?
It's about refinement, not just recovery. For someone like Shaw coming back from an injury or Manu with a minor knock, the sessions are tailored. The sources mentioned they were looking at, like high-speed running data, doing positional drills.
So targeted work.
Targeted specific work, building match sharpness without that international travel fatigue. They should be coming into this Everton game way sharper than they otherwise would be.
So they basically traded rest for optimization.
Absolutely. And that fits perfectly with the big injury news, Lisandro Martinez.
He's nearing a return.
He's very close. The sources are clear. He trained fully with Argentina just for fitness. He didn't play, he was just building himself back up.
That is huge. A potential inclusion against Everton, even for a few minutes, changes the whole defensive outlook, doesn't it?
It's a massive shift in confidence. He just brings that aggression, that ability to play out from the back. You add his return to Harry Maguire being okay after that hamstring worry, and Manu being cleared.
And suddenly the spine of the team looks a lot stronger.
Much more robust. The only big doubt is Benjamin Sesko. He's probably still out with that knee injury.
Still, it sounds like a perfect storm of good news fitness, injury returns, and players like Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro are coming back confident from their international games.
Exactly. It all converges. High morale, optimized fitness, keep players back. And you have to remember, they're at home, where Everton haven't won in the league for years.
And Everton have their own issues, with Branthwaite out long term.
Right. It really stacks the deck. It's why the sources are pretty confidently predicting something like a 2-0 or 2-1 win for United. The momentum is there. Okay, so now we pivot. We go from the team strategy to this really intense personal drama between the goalkeepers. And this is where the stats get pretty dramatic.
The contrast is just wild, isn't it?
It is. So you have Sen Lammens. He's the established number 1 now. He's had the spot since that Brentford game in September. He's even got praise from Sir Alex Ferguson.
And he had a very, very quiet international break.
The quietest debut you could imagine. A 7-0 win for Belgium over Liechtenstein. He got his clean sheet.
But the workload.
He faced one shot.
The entire game.
One shot. It was basically ceremonial. Now compare that to Alaibander,
who was playing for Turkey against Spain, his first big game since being dropped by United.
A 2-2 draw. and it was an absolute firefight for him.
Let's get into the numbers here, because this is where it gets really interesting. Spain had 68% possession, just total dominance.
And that dominance led to Bander facing 9 shots on target.
9. And he saved 7 of them.
7 saves. That's a 77.8% save percentage against an elite Spanish attack. So this raises a really crucial point. Lamens is the guy for distribution, for game management, sure. But Bander just proved, under incredible pressure, that he is a world-class shot stopper.
The report called it a creditable performance, which feels like an understatement.
Yeah.
It was exactly what he needed to prove he's still sharp.
For sure. And his comments after the match to Millet, they really tell you about his mindset.
Yeah, that quote stood out. Everyone needs to be ready, even if you are feeling down or if they try to knock you down, you keep going until the end.
I mean, he's clearly talking about being dropped, about moving to the bench. That performance was his answer. It showed he wasn't sulking, he was preparing.
Although he did keep his feet on the ground, saying, "We did not win, so there's no point in getting too excited."
Right, always the professional. But that performance, that sharpness, it immediately complicates things for the club, because he just proved he's an incredibly valuable, high-level backup.
But a backup who has every reason to want to leave.
Precisely.
So that performance, that 7-save masterclass, it's not just about his confidence, is it? It's the strategic consequence.
No, it's a catalyst. It's leverage.
Yeah.
Bander is 27, he's in his prime, and he has this huge deadline looming.
The World Cup playoffs for Turkey in March.
Exactly. And for him to be Turkey's #1 for those games, I mean, he has to be playing regularly. He can't do it from the bench at Old Trafford.
It's just not going to happen.
It's not viable.
Duh.
So the sources are saying that heroic performance against Spain is going to embolden him, to push for a January move. He needs to find a club where he's the guaranteed starter.
And what's the club's position on this?
Well, therein lies the dilemma. United might be open to it. You don't want a player of his quality unhappy on the bench.
Yeah.
But the reports are very clear on one condition.
They need a replacement first.
They absolutely have to sign a suitable backup for Lamens before they let Bander go. They can't just create a huge gap in depth halfway through the season.
So they're caught in this weird transfer loop. They have to facilitate an exit while simultaneously filling the hole it creates.
Right. And that brings us to the specific name that's being linked as the potential replacement.
The Swedish goalkeeper, Melker Elborg.
Yes. The thinking seems to be, if they can sign Elborg as the new deputy, that paves the way for Bander to get his move in January.
But hold on. If Bander just proved he can save 7 out of 9 shots from Spain's best attackers, what's the risk in replacing him with someone like Elborg? I mean, you're swapping a proven, battle-tested keeper for a future prospect.
That is the absolute core of the strategic risk for United. They'd be trading certainty for convenience. Bander's performance confirms he can step in right now and perform miracles if Lamens gets injured. Elborg, he might be a great talent, he might be cheaper and happy with a backup role, but he doesn't have that proven high-pressure pedigree.
So United has to weigh what Bander wants against the risk of having a less experienced keeper, just one injury away from being their #1.
Exactly. It's a normal squad issue that's become this high-stakes calculation, all because of the World Cup calendar and a player's international dream. So if we pull all of this together, what have we really uncovered here in this deep dive?
Well, first, that Carrington is a totally different environment under Amorim. The team seems fired up. They're fitter thanks to those personalized sessions for guys like Manu and Shaw.
And Lisandro Martinez is on his way back, which is a game changer for the defense.
Huge. And then you have this incredible tale of 2 goalkeepers. It's just so stark.
1 save versus 7 saves, the ceremonial debut versus the trial by fire. That one statistic kind of says it all, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's more than just a stat. It's a strategic problem for the club. Bander proved he is ready, he's resilient, he's top class under pressure.
Which leaves us with the final thought for you to really think about.
Given that heroic performance against Spain, which confirms Bander is this incredibly valuable, active, and experienced asset, does the risk of replacing him with a lesser-known keeper like Melker Elborg actually outweigh the need to grant Bander his move? Is he in fact too good and too valuable as a backup to let go right now, even if he wants to leave for the sake of the World Cup? What stands out to you?